walking towards Red Square, the world famous historic Red Square.
Oh wow, it's really it's grandiose. I never thought it was going to be that sort of like big.
Isn't that the Soviet Star on top of that building?
Yeah.
So yeah, Red Square ahead.
It looks really nice with the lights.
Yeah.
It's so strange. It looks like a child sort of like selected the color pattern, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's like in a Disney film, isn't it?
Yeah. It doesn't look really like serious or like really. I mean, I guess. Although no, you know what? I take that back, man, because you know back in the day, churches were actually painted in loads of different colors. It was actually the only place in the town, in the city, where you would actually see loads of colors. Like it was just like a feast of colors, man. Oh right, this is where the leaders stand. That platform is where all the leaders stand when the parades go by.
Oh.
And that's actually where loads of people cried the first time that Vladimir Putin reintroduced the Soviet anthem as the national anthem of Russia.
Yeah, he kept the same tune, but modified the words. That's Lenin's mausoleum there.
Where?
Over there. That structure. Do you see that structure there?
Yeah.
Like a pyramid kind of thing. So here's Lenin's mausoleum. So let's try check it maybe on Tuesday or something, Matt.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
That's where his dead body, that world famous dead body with him.
Yeah, it's important, man.
Lying there like a mummy, but not actually mummified.
I wasn't expecting there to be businesses though on next to it, you know.
That might be the government department store. Alright, so behind us is St. Basil's Cathedral.
Yeah.
Let's go closer, check it out.
It looks like the Smurfs, man, or something like that. Looks like a scene from the Smurfs.
Oh, the colour palette.
Yeah, they have mushroom houses.
Yeah.
And so it looks just like mushrooms, isn't it? I don't know.
I think Disney just copied them, yeah?
Yeah.
So this building, which is next to Red Square, is the Goom.
It's basically a government store.
Yeah, so back in the Soviet times, these were government-run stores.
And it was actually built in 1893, because we can see
yes.
on the top.
Hello from Russia.
Huh?
Hello from Russia.
Hello.
Thank you, yeah.
Здравствуйте.
Здравствуйте. London.
London, really? Great Britain.
Да.
What are you doing here?
Мы здесь в отпуске, да.
Do you speak
Студент.
He does a little bit,
Чуть-чуть.
but I don't.
You know.
Первый раз в России. У меня
He had Russian friends at university.
У меня русские друзья в Лондоне.
Как Москве? Нравится? Нравится?
Да.
Nice.
Да, Москва очень красивый город. Интересно. Историческая.
Да.
All right, guys.
Очень приятно.
Good luck.
Thank you very
Спасибо.
much. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice interaction. Locals, people are friendly, yeah.
Wow, this is a really nice alley.
So the Goom's quite big.
Yeah, man. It probably was like the only department store back in the day, though. Like, you know what I mean? So, like.
Look, Hermes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, you see, I mean, what do I think of this? It's basically the Goom, only a name. Essentially, like, I mean, it's called the Goom, but it's not a government store.
Well, I guess after the collapse of the Soviet Union, people wanted the taste of capitalism. They wanted to try different products, have Western products, and so I guess that's what the government gave them,
Fair enough.
or allowed them.
Yeah.
Marshal Zhukov, the hero of World War II.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that, you know, I mean, we know that Stalin just hated him. They were enemies because Stalin was jealous that Zhukov was...
Stealing the thunder.
Yeah, he was the most popular with the troops and stuff.
To McDonald's, KFC.
The seat of the former Soviet
The former Soviet Union just...
the spreader of communism around the world, you know what I mean? If only they could see this right now, man, they're probably turning in their grave, or probably turning in his mausoleum if he wasn't so, like, sort of waxed down, like, stiff.
This is a hotel we're staying at, In Time Hotel. Interesting graffiti on the other side. Cool, bro. Let's check out what's over there. Statue there.
Yeah, the statue of some warrior priest. history of the Rus, bro. The Vikings came coming through and settling here. The whole thing is it's a mix of a Scandinavian minority, like a warrior sort of migrating people that mixed with the local Slavs, and who eventually they created this hybrid culture, you know. What we have today are the Russians, you know. Oh man, I love this place. I love this town, man. You know what? Like ever since we arrived in Russia, actually, like I don't think I've ever been in a place and thought like, where am I? Like this is grimy. You know, this is dirty. This is cold. Actually, it's been hot. It's been friendly. It's been
yeah, it's pretty clean and well maintained. Like, just look.
Yeah, it's really modern. I mean, we have to forget, like this was actually it was one of the two superpowers. So at some point, like something's you've got to give them credit, and you've got to accept that.
Red Square again, but this time we're going to see how it's like in the day.
Yeah, it's really, I mean, to be fair, man, it had some charm at night.
It seems like it's closed today.
Yeah.
There's barriers, it's closed off.
There might be an actual reason for it, but it also because Monday the mausoleum is closed also, so maybe Monday they just close off the whole area.
So we're in front of the Goom now. Let's go in, now it's open.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think this looks way more nicer than the usual shopping malls we're used to back home.
I mean, look at the light, man. It's basically like being outdoors, more or less.
Yeah. I like it, it's not too congested.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not busy at all. Monday morning, I guess.
Monday morning, yeah. So a lot of expensive brands here. I saw Gucci and some others.
I mean, I guess you would come here more for the architecture and the feel of things, and get an ice cream or something, rather than actually come here and like pick up a shirt,
Perhaps rich people, when they want to buy products from exclusive brands, they probably come here.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd have to be quite wealthy, like as a Russian, I think, to come here, innit? Spend like $100 on a CK T-shirt, I don't think anyone can really do that. Yeah. Even back home.
Probably back in the day, it used to be just government products, government-run stores, and things like that.
Yeah, I would assume so.
I guess after the fall of capitalism, of communism, they probably opened it up to everyone else.
Yeah.
So now we're trying to get some tickets for the hop-on, hop-off bus and try to see Moscow from the bus, see what's available, what's there to view.
Yeah.
Здравствуйте. Два билета.
Да, проходите.
Sit here. It's nice, no roof on this bus.
Yeah. This is the State University. They look more or less the same. Look, it's down there in the distance.
Oh, so that's the real Moscow State University.
Yeah. You can see it better here for me.
Yeah, and we're at the highest point in Moscow right now. So we'll have a look across this way.
It's so impressive. It's really tall.
Look at the view. So yeah, if any of you want to come to Moscow, just come to Moscow State University, and opposite it, this hill is the highest point in Moscow. See the financial district over there behind the trees. Stadium, is that Lokomotiv?
Yeah, that's the Lokomotiv Moscow Stadium. Another sort of sports arena on that side, all Soviet era.
Well, yeah, I'm really glad we came to Moscow. It's a beautiful city.
Yeah, I'm super glad myself.
It's Omega building. We just got off the hop-on, hop-off bus. We're at Arbat Street. Check it out.
So is this supposed to be like a shopping sort of district, yeah?
Yeah, this is so it's one street with many shops and it's quite famous.
Yeah.
So probably like Oxford Street, although a bit more serene. They've got some Russian hats.
Those are the hats that you like.
Although I'd rather get it from a flea market. These were made for tourists.
Yeah.
I want a Soviet hat and a shonka made for Russians. More matryoshkas.
That looks like a nice shop actually. It's like quality.
It's a bear. Little Russian bears roaming the streets. A lot of souvenir shops here.
Yeah.
Is that the Ukrainian flag there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's check that. Kulturny Center Ukraini. Cultural Center of Ukraine. So that's the cultural center of Ukraine.
Oh no way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of links to Ukraine, yeah, you know, like the Kiev station, blah blah blah. So many links to Ukraine, you know.
That shop says Ruski Samovar. Samovar's that big pot that Russians make a tea in.
Oh right.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No man.
I'll show you. Let's go.
Was that thing that was on the shelf in St. Petersburg in the flat, on the top shelf, just above my bed?
I didn't see it properly, but
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, that's it.
yeah, there, yeah.
That's the top shelf, man.
See,
I was
those-
wondering what that thing was. I was like, what
Yeah,
is that,
they
man?
make tea in these big pots. They're called Samovar. Set of apartments here right next to Arbat Street. Children's Park. Must be expensive to live in these.
Must be like.
Because it's right next to Arbat Street, like the shopping district.
Oh right. Man, if my forearm wasn't hurting, I would go on those dips. Man, yeah, this is amazing. In London, you don't have this. Like,
Not a bad effort.
no, I can't. It's my forearm's fucked. I can't do more, you know.
So now we're on Novi Arbat, near Arbat Street. So it's got a collection of shops on the side, and you've got the main road on the other side.
It's basically like modern version of what we used to.
Teremok.
Teremok, yeah. Teremok. That's the one that we can't figure out. That's the one that we can't seem to figure out if it's like worth going into or not. It just seems like loads of pancakes and loads of heavy stuff, but it's at the same time Russian.
Здравствуйте. Слин, шоколад. Спасибо большое. Really good. Yeah, Soviet style restaurant.
Oh, it's really hot, yeah.
Marivana. Yeah, so in Marivana we're finally getting our Soviet style food. Just pelmeni with beef.
This is stewed beef with potatoes and seps, which are
I think it's also pelmeni with some bouillon and beef inside.
So yeah, so we're having some nice good food in a traditional Russian Soviet cafe.
very nice.
Restaurant near actually Revolyutsii station, and we're going to check out some Khrushchevka. So Khrushchevkas are Soviet era apartments built by Khrushchev.
Can you tell us a bit about Khrushchevka's, Anna? Like it
It was a social building. Everything was in ruins after the war, and they wanted to provide some normal quality housing as fast as possible. So they built these houses that's supposed to last for 2 decades,
Yeah,
but they stay longer.
yeah.
But that was the fastest option to provide normal quality of living for so many people after the war. And
But now
so
they're
fast.
planning to demolish them, isn't it?
Yes, because they're like 50 years old buildings.
Yeah.
It's old communications. and
See, I'm doing God's work by recording history.
everything.
So
Yes,
if anyone ever
publishing
watches
reality,
this, you're not going to see this in the future once they're all demolished.
change
Mate, we should
for-
buy one and beg them not to destroy it and make it a
That
museum.
is actually
That's a good idea.
one of the investment scheme now, because people buy these cheap flats and wait for renovation.
And then you get paid.
They will get this type of buildings afterwards.
Ever Khrushchevka
Yes.
built?
Wow. Does it say the date? I mean, the year that it was built? Or not?
Yes, that's the one.
Alright.
I don't think it's so well maintained here.
Yeah.
But what I heard that some people prefer to live in these buildings because the plan of the flat is much better than in new housing. They have more space here, it's better constructed.
So you could say this is more quantity rather than quality.
Yes, for sure. It was the cheapest option.
A lot of these must be abandoned.
Maybe.
I mean, look, there's a window open there. Someone's living on. Look at some of these balconies.
No one wants this property. If you have money, only those who are moving to city from suburbs and don't have enough income will buy.
So Anna, this is also Khrushchevka, these ones, yeah? Oh, no.
Yes, it's all the same.
All
buildings,
Khrushchevkas.
the same districts. It was first occupied.
So here's the emergency exit. This ladder from the top of the roof. But these Khrushchevkas are nicer than the ones that we saw, like the first one we saw, like in Grimhouse.
Probably it's the older one, or well maintained. I don't know, but it's the same. You see.
That's the monument to the conqueror of space. And this is the park with the Soviet history. Yeah?
It's quite big, huh? It's actually really nice.
You haven't noticed everything here is big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's proper city, man.
Yeah.
So that's the entrance to VDNKh then, yeah?
Yeah. So basically, it's VDNKh is exhibition of achievement of Soviet republics. So it's basically Russian republic.
This represents Russia. Yeah, as you said, like each of these buildings represents each of the former republics of the Soviet Union.
Oh, this is Uzbekistan.
Uzbekistan. It's like Roman style columns.
Yeah, but I think Uzbekistan has a lot of from, Samarkand city in Uzbekistan. That is Samarkand, the famous city in Uzbekistan.
Oh, okay, so
It's how you call it? I wouldn't say it's Silk or Mediterranean. So it's a more Persian or something.
oh, okay.
Even further, they have the botanical area with all the gardens and everything. So basically, where the station where we were changing just now, if we were exiting from that station and walk, so we could get here.
MI8, man.
MI8, yeah?
Yeah, it's the most popular one that they produced. Everyone uses them, man. Like in Vietnam and Thailand, even like the countries that don't like normally buy Soviet style like Russian equipment will buy this one. We have really fond memories
Belarus.
of Belarus, man. Yeah, it's really good.
You've been to Belarus as well.
Yeah,
We went together.
Yeah.
So what was your impression?
So it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw Minsk, innit, but like we didn't go anywhere else. But we went around like the Nesvich Castle and stuff and Mir. But we didn't see like the rest of the country. Like,
Maybe they got Bulbash here.
oh yeah.
Bulbianaya, whoever that is.
You want to get inside?
So we're in restaurant Ruski. Myself, Matt, and our friend Anna. It's a great view from here.
I was so scared. I was so afraid I was coming.
Can you see the Kremlin, Anna?
I think it's so tiny, I don't know where, somewhere. You see the Stalin skyscraper here. And another skyscraper here.
What? Sorry.
You see the Stalin skyscraper.
You can actually see them like the Seven Sisters like dotting around.
Yep. And this one.
Yeah, the State University looks amazing.
We're here at the Museum of the Great Patriotic War.
Yeah, 1941, 1945 for them. So it started later and actually finished a little bit later as well, like a couple of months later.
It started on the date of Operation Barbarossa,
Yeah.
when Germany invaded the Soviet Union.
The soldier crushing the Nazi swastika.
Oh, yeah.
Eagle, you know?
Victory over the Nazis.
Oh wow, this is amazing, man. This is the symbol of Moscow.
Well, the man on the horse.
Yeah, it's basically the man on the horse spearing a dragon. That's the coat of arms of the city of Moscow. The dragon is supposed to represent like Germany, right, or like Nazi Germany, because there are swastikas and iron crosses like basically on the dragon everywhere.
Yeah, Red Army soldiers.
What do these words say? Like, does these words not say like give towns, cities? Is that Minsk, right? That NH.
It says Liensk.
The one right above that.
Oh, Minsk,
Minsk,
yeah, Minsk.
Yeah.
Moskva, yeah, it's got different city names. Now inside the Museum of the Great Patriotic War.
Khrushchevka hat, like an original.
Oh yeah,
See, that's
1940s.
yeah, that's the training parade. A German sort of assault rifle that was produced late in the war. It's like an STG-44. I think 1944, when it was introduced. And actually, if you look at it, you can actually quite see the resemblance with the AK-47. And actually, the AK was based on this assault rifle. On the four corners of the museum, there are some rooms that describe particular battles, like sort of flashpoint events during the war. And as you walk into the room, you actually gradually enter the scene, and it's actually quite impressive. They've got like real, sort of like a mix of real memorabilia, like actual artifacts from the war, and just like props and paintings. Really impressive.
So we're now in the open air museum. So now we've got engineering and military equipment that was used during the Great Patriotic War.
Seems to be a lot of German gear on this side. So most of the so the German army had, obviously like every army has specific sort of color patterns, and the German army used some sort of like blue-gray, I guess, sort of coloring for most of their weaponry. And as we progress, we can already see that it's sort of changing. Oh, we've got a T-34 facing, a single T-34 facing, which is the tank in green right there that I'm sort of framing. That's facing just a bunch of German tanks, which is seems like a bit of an unrealistic scenario, but there you go. To be fair, the T-34, which you can just see here on the right, was the more superior tank. Towards the end of the war, when this tank was introduced, the German shells would bounce off the armor, no doubt scaring the life out of whoever just shot that shell. And now we have the fortifications. So these are sort of replicas of fortifications that were sort of being built at the time of the war, and you can just pass through them. It's sort of like a trench, I guess. And here you have like bunkers sticking out of the ground, all very sort of well concealed. Like the Soviet Union is the country that that made most use of armored trains and also armored cars during the war. And as I said, like again, it's a legacy from the First World War and the subsequent Russian Civil War. There's an anti-aircraft battery actually on the train, fixed on the train. So in order to protect the train and its cargo from any enemy bombings, enemy planes. A very famous piece of Soviet military equipment from World War II, the BM-13 Katyusha multiple rocket launcher, which is actually really also famous for the sound that the rockets make when they are released. And now we have the planes. So this is, if I'm not mistaken, the Yak plane. So it's called the actual the actual manufacturer's name is the AM-38, so-called Yak, and really also it's one of those sort of fighter bombers that was really effective during World War II. Really impressed by the professionalism of this museum, and I really recommend that people come here to visit this place because It's really amazing. Yeah, I just had an amazing lunch at the garage sort of gallery, I guess, which is owned by Abramovich's wife.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, whatever. That's quite cool. And then yeah, just taking a stroll through Gorky Park. We're going to check out those, there's different monuments within the park.
Here, but you can hire one of the small boats and paddle around.
Yeah, those pedalers are quite cool, man. I think we could, like it's a bit like in Hyde Park, you know, you can just go and chill. I'm sure it's a lot more popular during the summer though.
Yes.
It's a little bit cool today. Well, actually no, it's not cool, it's just a little bit windy, and when the wind sort of hits, it gets a bit chilly.
Yeah, I mean, you're not really motivated to get a boat now, but in the summer when you're feeling hot, you probably want to go in there and get splashed by the water. Sariyadi, have you?
Flying Bridge. And again, we are at a perfect time for sunset.
Yeah.
I'm sure it is the best use. They have the observation floor on the top. I don't know if you want to go there, it's free. They have some overview from here.
It's a good view, actually.
So you see the old city here.
What was that? Over there on the left-hand side.
This building.
They have the museum that's very great. Signs and the nerdy parks. You come closer to KGB building, you can look in details the decorations.
And the Ploshchad Theatre.
So it's called
For luck. So students before exam.
Let's touch it.
Students before exam come to touch the nose. They need to touch the nose. And you will see that people will pass and touch the nose. Some of them, I don't know, just watch, it will happen eventually.
the baby's foot too, right, I guess.
The baby's foot as well.
I don't know what that's been, but I know when dog knows.
So only the statues with a dog nose people will touch, not the other ones.
But you see that it's also the people touch all parts here.
Fine, now we're done. Enough luck.
All microbes possible after a working day, so in all doses, okay, good.
It is a nice thing.
So it's time for us to leave Moscow. We've been here for a couple of days, it's been good fun. But now we're heading towards Grozny. So the British government advises against all travel to the Caucasus, including Grozny. So I think this will be the start of our next adventure.
Yeah, it's really exciting times, isn't it? We'll see.